King's started almost 6 years ago. I was the sales director of a company called WG Whites, where I'd worked for about 15 years, and was really fortunate that 2 days after leaving WG Whites, picked up the Fortnum's business for caviar. So I found a unit just around the corner from where we are now. Whites had sold sort of caviar and foie gras and smoked salmon, so I really mirrored that. So we started with caviar and foie gras and smoked salmon. And we were incredibly fortunate that George Brooke, who one of the oldest foie gras companies in the world, fifth generation, they decided to move with me, and I've worked with them ever since, selling their foie gras. And then it really grew. I don't think I'd thought about ever selling anything else. I'd really just thought I would continue with the sort of White story, but under my own name. And it grew, and people started to approach me. I'm very lucky that, being married to a chef and with other very prominent chefs in London, I can call on them and say, look, someone has approached me with this product, what do you think? Alessio Tesori, who is the owner of Amade Chocolate, I met him at a dinner party, and he said to me, Laura, you sell the finest food in the world, would I sell his chocolate? And at that time, as I said to him, I know nothing about chocolate. We were building a freezer and we converted it to a chocolate fridge.
People will always pay for quality, I think, and I think that's what King's has, and I think that's what obviously Laura delivers. You know what I mean? She's very individual. She treats everybody as they are and tries to give them what they want at that high end of the market, I think,
The most important thing is that they know that they can trust you, that you've got a very good product, and that if they ring you at 10 o'clock on a Friday night or a Saturday night because they urgently need caviar or something else, that we will get it to them. And that's probably one of the things, because we are still relatively small, we can react quite quickly.
Things appear at home, suddenly something's in the fridge or on the kitchen table, we've got to try some oils, or we've got to try a jam, or we've got to try an exclusive pickle that somebody's come up with from the middle of the mountains or something, so there's often something to try, or a bit of caviar, I suppose we're like a mechanic's home. There's always just plugs on the table, whereas there's often a little tin of caviar in the fridge.
I guess almost 6 years later, we're finding that companies have heard about us and they approach us if they've got really unique and wonderful and sort of beautiful products. And because we supply all of the sort of 5-star hotels and Michelin-star restaurants with products, so a lot of people have started to approach us to work with them.